to dig the colorful names we say.
All right, and we are back with episode dose with the podcast.
Both to be uploaded at the same time.
Both to be uploaded at the same time.
At the same time.
And
context. It's important.
It's very important. And to let everyone know, we are, well, That's Your Opinion, Man. That is the name of our podcast. And let's say that one more time. What is it called?
Well,
That's Your
opinion, man.
Well, that's your opinion, man.
Shitty or not.
Shitty or not. Just listen to us. Just listen to us and love us. That's all I ask is your dying love and devotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. So we always like to maybe kind of start off, or what we're going to start doing is, of course, is the beer, the weekly
beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
Okay.
Da, 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 da.
So,
okay,
Chris, you have a beer. I also have a beer.
So we have two beers because it's 1
Yes.
+ 1 = 2. Just if
Did you introduce
don't
me?
know, oh, we haven't
Did not even
introduced
fucking
ourselves.
introduce
No,
me.
we haven't even done that.
Fucking rookie ass shit.
All right, geez.
here.
All right. So, well, That's Your Opinion, Man is
Hosted by
myself, Chris,
Andrew.
and I feel like, here's the thing: is like I am 100% okay with using my full name.
I am not.
So that's the thing. That's where there's a little impasse, but I'm gonna go with just doing the first name basis.
Andrew.
We have Andrew here,
And then this is Chris.
and my name is Chris.
Yes.
To our people who know us, they will know our first and last names.
Voices.
Yeah,
And penises.
Oh man.
Well, all right. Well, if you have not watched the first episode, please do so your opinion of us is not in any way affected by this intro.
I'm gonna cut you off because you said watched.
Oh, yep. Shit. Okay.
No, we watched you with our ears.
With our ears.
I love it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
fuck, that's awesome. All right, so the first beer
How
is
was
actually.
your week, Chris?
Are we gonna do the week and then?
How was your week?
Okay, we're gonna do the week thing first. All right. This week was okay. I got a lot of shit done, but then I ended up getting sick. Actually.
Are you sick right now?
What?
Are you sick right now?
I would say I'm like 75% not sick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting over it. Beers are really helping right now. I'll
That's,
let you know tomorrow
actual
how I'll feel. You know.
There we go.
But anyways, so we or at least me for myself, at work I organized a really shitty what do you call it, like pizza party at like we did like a cross promotion thing with my property.
Yeah.
Andrew, you were there. It was
really
very
shitty.
lackluster. That's the key phrase right there.
We are in the hospitality business.
Hospitality, yes.
The wipe your ass business. Okay.
We'll wipe your ass. Can you give me rent money, please?
Can you give me rent money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. My week was great.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good. I wish I would have made it actually.
There was a party. I had received a butt wiping award for my butt wiping abilities. So
I feel like it was pretty more than that. You're just being very modest.
Very modest.
Yes.
No, it's all right.
Mr. Andrew went to, it's called the Star Awards.
Don't say where we work.
The Blank Awards.
This was edited.
This was yes. We
We're
can
gonna take
edit
that
it
out.
We can edit it. It's totally fine.
Am I being
He's
too
going
loud?
in and out. Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I too
Yep,
excited?
exactly. So I had to fix the levels, Mr. Engineer here. So anyways, so my man won an award for
Butt wiping.
God damn it.
The wiping of butts.
So I saw something. It was
Accountability.
accountability. That's pretty awesome.
Which is why I want to be anonymous here, so I don't have to account for anything.
Okay, yeah.
I'm tired of doing that all day.
But now, literally, what's gonna happen is I feel like people are gonna know about this, and they're gonna know.
No one's going to know about this podcast.
Okay, well let's pretend.
This is the second episode, and we have nothing on the internet yet.
Oh no!
Like, what if I don't upload this one? Then
I'm just saying.
2 weeks in the hole.
If I don't upload this is not.
It's the fucking smallest audience ever.
This is like, well, Dwight's here. So.
That's true. Dwight is Chris's dog.
Dwight, yes, he's my dog. He is an adorable dog, which he is in his adolescent stage. So if I talk to him wrong, he's gonna go piss on my bed.
He will beat me.
He will beat me. Oh shit. Anyways, so my man Andrew actually got an award for an accountability award, and I think that's actually not something just to like scoff at. I think it's actually pretty good. Like your company's like acknowledging you. That's pretty cool. I mean, you know,
Means I have a lot to account for. Means I fuck up a lot, and I just say, yeah, I fucked up.
no,
That's it.
like,
They're like, man, this dude's had a year.
Like,
Holy fuck.
this dude's
Alright.
fucked up a lot,
This dude's had a fucking year.
but he's owning up to it. So
he's
so it's all good.
through his tears. He said it was his
You
fault.
can, yeah. We can measure from his tears, his rubles.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I believe we're ready for our beers of the week.
Beer of the week, yes, we'll circle back around to that. The first beer of the week, actually, I picked this up. The reason why it actually says Beer Geek on there, on the label, it's from...
This is the one I'm drinking right now.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
both of us actually are drinking this right now. It's by McKellar Brewing Company, and it's actually from San Diego. And it is their breakfast stout, made
Which
with
is
coffee.
the best kind of beer. So a breakfast stout is a breakfast stout is coffee, oatmeal, and chocolate.
Correct.
That is what makes a
And it's
breakfast
a
stout.
beautiful marriage.
It is my favorite
beers.
type of beer. It absolutely is.
And I'm going to be honest, Dwight does love
When Chris first got this dog, he's currently smelling my beer right now. We had given him a bit of beer at the time of adoption, and it must have caused a bit of a dependency on it.
Yeah, well,
doing
welcome
Yep.
everyone to my alcoholic dog. He's
alcoholic dog.
She's at a stout because I want
I
a stout."
remember after about like the 5th time we gave him some, we're like, "Is this okay for him?"
Shut
and we
up.
look it up,
And we're like, no, it's not okay.
yeah, he
like
has 3 weeks to live.
3 weeks to live, yeah. Oh, he's a good boy. Anyways, it's really good. I'm not sure if
It's
anyone.
good. Not as good as Founder's Breakfast Stout.
It is not as good as Founder's Breakfast Stout.
Which is the pinnacle of breakfast.
Here's the thing, though, is what's great about this beer is I think it's like 7.5% alcohol, so it's not as heavy as Founders. I think Founders has, with their breakfast stout, is like a very balanced of like that chocolate, that really great stout taste.
It's
you know,
roasty.
very roasty.
very
Yeah,
roasty.
Yeah. And
Not much malt flavor.
exactly, and I think that's kind of hard to I guess have. I mean,
It's a tough thing. So we'll
Seriously.
find out with the beer I brewed. I tried to get it as unmalty as possible.
Also, so then that's for the first one. I feel like kind of what's happening is I have a beer that I've bought, and then Andrew has a beer that he's bought. Oh, I heard that.
So, the second beer of the week is a Minnesotan classic here. It is Shell's Brewery, which is the second oldest brewery in the United States. It's been around since 1860.
Boom.
I just read that on the bottle there.
1860.
It's a Stag series. Sati is what it's called, I believe. I think I pronounced that right. I'm going to tell you what it is here in a second.
Oh, he's gonna drink it for us, folks. I'm gonna watch him enjoy this beverage.
It's a good beer. That's all I know.
It's like,
It's a good beer.
It's good.
It's good. Yep.
So I mean, do you know? Is it a lighter beer? Is darker?
It's
beer?
a lighter beer.
It looks
It
light.
is a lighter beer.
Yes.
It's kind of lagery.
It's kind of
Kinda
lager.
lager.
Okay,
That's
everyone's
the best
gonna
I can do.
everyone's gonna run out and try this lagery
Just
beer.
go and get Shell's sampler pack. It's a beautiful thing.
Do you mind if I'm totally honest here? Most of the time, I'm not a fan of Shells. I know, and that's I just heard your natural reaction. I feel like
Have you drank Shell's lately? Have you had their sample
so.
packs?
No, I've had all of their original beers, and they have been shitty.
They've much better lately.
They have been mediocre at
They're
best.
much better. You know who they're
But
kinda
now,
like?
now are they starting? Do you think they're like starting?
Fucking
to,
bullshit.
Do you
know
think now
who
they're
they're
starting like now to get after this microbrew? You know,
They are getting with the times.
yeah,
They remind me a lot of what's that Wisconsin brewery?
New Glarus.
New Glarus.
Yes.
They are very similar to New Glarus.
So if you like New Glarus, I roll Spotted Cow, right?
I mean, it's famous.
So it is, but
It's famous.
I'm sorry. Spotted
It's
Cow
okay.
is over
It's
the
okay
fuck
beer.
rated.
10 years ago, yeah, it was probably fantastic.
Oh, I bet you it was amazing. Yeah,
It was ahead of the curve.
But like now,
Not as
no,
there
come
are
on.
better beers.
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
world.
way better
Yeah,
beers. But
there are.
a lot. But what's great about New Glarus, and I think they have a great, what do you call that? Not like a business
They
model.
got the naked squirrel. No, the fat squirrel.
The fat squirrel. Yeah, I'm like the
Fat
naked
squirrel. Naked. What's that called? Naked.
naked your mom.
Naked moon. Oh, they have the Moon Man.
The Moon Man,
Which is great.
Which is okay.
Get the New Glarus next time you're driving through Wisconsin, okay? Which you probably won't ever.
No,
but
why
when
would you ever do that? The only reason why you go to Wisconsin is to go to Chicago.
Exactly. It's to drive
go to
through.
Milwaukee. Yeah,
But
to
when you
drive
stop
through.
to get gas in Wisconsin,
Yeah, every gas station has it.
you get the sample pack.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
do.
All right, yeah. So
All
hey,
right.
that's our beers of
Those
the
are
week.
our beers of the week.
And so I guess now we can kind of talk about what we're talking about. A couple of things, you know, as far as happening in the news. I feel like when we talk, of course, we're going to talk about like the MAGA kids and all of that. You know.
Well, do we want to start there?
Yeah, I think we should start there.
Because
Yeah.
one thing I would like to address is or at least start off would be with what we had said last week.
Yeah. Let's go back to kind of.
Let's see. So that there's been a big discussion in the news,
Correct.
about the news itself.
Real quick before we start, like I feel like nowadays, of course, the news happens so fast.
Yeah.
So when we put out things, I feel like by the time we've put out something, things have already been discussed. Things have already been brought to light. And all of this. So, I feel like
In
we're
this situation,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
universal condemnation that we were a little bit of a part of.
Oh yeah, of course. 100%.
It shows what is wrong currently with the news. And how
Or 100% correct.
large of a grain of salt
Yep.
we need to take everything.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 was an inside job.
Ah, man.
I'm just joking.
No, I mean.
No, we're not talking about that yet. We're not talking about that yet.
That's about 5 episodes.
That's a couple episodes in.
I love it.
It can't fall at free fall. Oh, no, okay. All right.
You guys heard those extra booms.
Fucking moon's made of cheese, all right?
made of cheese.
How do you land on cheese?
There's so many holes.
Fuck. There's so many holes.
Yep. So, I guess we can start by, I think everyone, see,
Well, what did we say last week? What did
so
we say
last week I said, I think we all came to the conclusion that this kid had a very punchable face, which I think he still does, having that smug look on his face. And I still think that he still had a smug, punchable face. There's no denying that.
Having watched the videos that the Native American group had actually done,
Which was the Indigenous Peoples March. That's what the name of it was.
The video is much longer, and it shows the drumming guy walking straight up to the kid and drumming in his face.
So
the kid did not.
We're
walk up to
we're
him.
gonna talk
The
facts
older
here.
guy,
Real quick. His name is actually Nathan Phillips.
Nathan Phillips.
So
okay.
Nathan Phillips.
Yep. Apparently, he was never deployed.
So that's what's so
Apparently
crazy.
he was never deployed.
No, he was still like he's still a vet, but he never went to Nam.
You know, I mean, was there a reason he didn't go to Nam? Was he drafted or
So here's the thing is, and this is one thing that I know personally. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are in the Army, even through 9/11, who never got deployed.
Yeah.
And so. And
There
so,
are no less veterans.
No, and so there's no less, and like some people stayed and like we're working on things. Like there's so many other areas to, let's say, the Army, and we're all doing one thing. You know.
Well, yeah, not everyone's gonna be saving Private Ryan.
Exactly. And not everyone's gonna be on the front lines. People have to stay back and have to work on shit.
Yep.
You know, so like that's kind of whatever. So we're not taking away from that, but also though I feel like I think what the media did was push
They created
this guy.
a narrative.
It's created a fucking narrative.
Fucking narrative.
And it's so bullshit. And it's
which we kind of called a little bit before. So when we had the last podcast we did. It was last Saturday, right when that story had broken. It was a day or two before all these other videos started coming out.
Correct.
We questioned that narrative.
Correct. No, and like, and I think I still stand by. So of course, when you hear this podcast, I feel like some people have already seen these videos.
Yeah.
Some people haven't though, and
I think
so
most people haven't.
So yes, but
Most
we
people
can't assume. And so what's great about this is that if people who listen to our podcast, excuse me, like they hopefully can kind of learn a little bit, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
what you need to learn is take us with a grain of salt.
take us with a grain.
Okay.
No, and I think that's how it is there's so much misinformation, and I feel like I'm at the point where it's like, fuck, who the hell do you believe?
Yeah.
How do you believe, like, even like, oh man, and it goes back so many times, and I feel like what's great about this,
Yeah.
wait, what I get from this, and I hope most people do, is that to not believe everything they hear on these news stories. And I'm going to bring up a crazy fucking thing, and it's kind of shitty.
Say one thing really quick?
Yeah, you can.
So it's not to just not believe some of the stuff you hear in the news. I don't think you believe most of what you hear in the news.
Yeah.
Personally. So in the way I kind of combat it, and the way I at least try to figure out the way the world is actually working, is I wake up and I listen to NPR every morning. NPR, very liberal, very left-leaning.
It's pronounced nipper.
Honestly. Neo-political, I don't know. NPR, very liberal podcasts. That's my morning.
Yep.
So I wake up and I just get myself nice and pissed off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And then I go to work, and then I come back, and I listen to more conservative news media. They talk about basically the same things.
So when you come back from work, what do you watch? Do you listen to 100 point? Is it 100.3 or 100.7?
No. So I listen to shout out. I'll listen to Steven Crowder.
Okay.
Steven Crowder is a YouTube personality.
So you won't listen. I mean, you'll watch. Sorry. Okay. That's
watch.
where I got confused. I'm like, wait, where are you listening?
There's also podcasts.
No,
I
correct.
also have
Yeah.
some podcasts.
Okay, yeah.
But Steven Crowder. I'll also listen to Ben Shapiro, who's very intelligent. Talks a little too fast though. And I understand that reality is somewhere in that gray area from NPR and these far right sites.
Yeah.
I'm not quite listening to Alex Jones. I'm not that far off the world. I love Alex Jones to
Alex
death.
Jones impersonation.
I just love that insanity and that capacity is able to exist in this world.
You know what? The first time I heard of Alex Jones, or like the first time I ever heard of Alex Jones, was actually from a movie.
Yeah.
Called Waking Life.
Waking Life.
Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard of that. No.
Great fucking film.
What? How old is it?
Waking Life is probably maybe 2000.
Have you ever listened to Alex Jones?
Oh yeah. Through the years, I've heard.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment news.
I would say it's entertainment. Yeah, and I feel like some people are like, no, he's the truth. It's like, but still.
There's also people that say he's the devil.
So correct. Well, so when I first, I guess, heard a glimpse or heard Alex Jones in this movie, A Waking Life, it was fucking awesome.
Was he in it?
Yeah, so like A Waking Life, and I highly suggest watching it.
Okay.
It's kind of about this person. It's like an animated. It's like real life actors, but then it's animated on top of it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's
that Keanu Reeves movie they did, Scanner Darkly.
No. I've never seen that, but okay. So, Waking Life is about this guy who basically is like in this dream state, and like almost like he's dead, but he isn't. Like, and it goes in between these different it's very lucid. It's almost like a lucid dream.
Okay.
And he goes through these different conversations. And like,
what role does Alex Jones play in it?
So, and what's so great about this movie is this guy, he is traveling through these different experiences, different conversations about how this world is, what this world is about, what we do, all this. And so Alex Jones was like,
was he his own layer of it?
No.
Oh.
He was a person that he meets, that he's traveling through this dreamlike state. And
That's
Alex
interesting,
Jones,
actually.
Alex Jones is like question everything, do all this, but I say damn this, but and it was super cool. I'm like, holy shit. What's so funny is like when I first watched him, like, dude, he was one of my most favorite characters in this, and because he was so like fucking question everything, fucking why do we do this, blah blah blah, and so anyway,
interesting.
It's a great movie.
I might check that out.
It's really cool. Yeah. And I would say it's probably around like 2011, maybe, or
okay.
No, I mean like maybe 2002, 2004.
Okay,
around
that's a
that.
big jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. It's I would say around that.
That sounds about right, because he, especially when Obama got elected, it was
pre-Obama.
He's kind of gotten off the deep end.
Yeah. It was very much pre-Obama, and I mean I've seen shows how messed up he's been, whatever. So yeah. But
Too much cocaine.
Jesus. Yeah,
I've seen episodes of Alex Jones when he was doing public access in Austin, Texas. He's the real deal, and he's been doing it for decades.
What do you mean real deal?
Like, some people think he's fucking with people just to fuck with them.
Oh, okay. Like to get a rise?
Make the right seem crazy a little bit. He might be like a shill for like the left to make the right seem crazy.
Okay.
A little bit. 1990s public access Alex Jones, and he's the same person.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So I feel like we totally went on a huge tangent.
Turning the frogs gay.
They're turning the. Is that him?
Gay.
Is that him?
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
turning the frogs gay.
That's
yeah.
That's an odd thing.
Yes. So, anyways, to go back. Wow, because I feel like we just went like huge fucking thing.
We were talking about the MAGA kids.
The MAGA kids,
yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anyways, so I think what I wanted to talk about with that is that, of course, and I'm not sure how people. There are people who haven't listened to media, right, and haven't listened to this, to the new stories that have come to light as far as the new videos, all of this.
In regards to the MAGA kids.
So, and yes, are you ready for this? So I know there is a local rapper. I'm not going to say his name, but he basically made a rap about this, right? And he made it, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, so now here's my question: after all this new shit come to light, do you still view that? Are you going to throw that away, or are you going to continue?
Obviously, it was about how the first video showed.
It was very much like
fuck these kids.
Fuck these kids. Not even that, but like the whole like the narrative of racism in America and all of that. And I don't doubt that. Yes, there still is a racism in America. Don't get me wrong, right? But man, like, how come no one?
Fuck you.
Yeah, like no, like,
fuck you.
Like, here's like my biggest issue is why? How come I haven't heard about the black? I'm sorry, the
Black Israelites.
Yes. Why haven't we heard? Why isn't there stories about the Black Israelites? And maybe there has been, and I just haven't seen them. And listen, if we have any listeners that like, oh no, they did say that on the radio or on the news, but listen,
I had seen a CNN clip from one of the initial breaking stories. They said that the kids. And you guys can look this up at home. The CNN had stated that the kids were harassing black people preaching about God.
No.
Damn near quote from what I saw on CNN.
So here's...
you listen to what the Black Israelites are saying, and you know anything about the Black Israelites. And actually, how about this? You want to tell what the Black Israelites are?
So,
do you know kind of the history?
I was going to do that, yes.
They believe
so they think they are actually
descendants of the tribe of Israel.
Correct. So they believe that they are
Jews are not the chosen people. Blacks are.
So they feel like they are descendants of these Jewish Jewish people.
Yes,
they believe that they are the true descendants.
White people.
What's so crazy?
The devil.
And very much correct within their they feel that white people
we have the privilege, motherfucker.
Yep.
We had the privilege of seeing the Black Israelites in a subway in New York.
So
when we were in New York,
so I grew up in St. Paul, and
I do remember seeing them in St. Paul.
So I remember on 4th Street. If anybody local, whatever, in downtown St. Paul, right off of 4th Street, Minnesota. I think it was 4th. Whatever. Off of Minnesota Street.
Yep.
I used to ride the 16, and they would always be on that corner, and you could hear them all in white, whatever. And so it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like they are just as much. Not forwarding, but like breathing
continuation,
like to me just as much as like Nazis, like they're blaming someone and very demonizing a certain race.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I will never demonize a certain race ever.
Well, I think
That's
this
very
is where I get outraged, because they have their opinions, and there's always gonna be shit opinions in this world, you know. What I am outraged about, yeah, exactly. What I'm not, I guess not outraged, but what I'm really annoyed with, especially with the media, is we had such an uproar in regards to these kids supposedly hassling an old Native American vet.
Hold on, wait.
There was so much power behind that narrative. It was just an absolute wall, a single picture, a 10-second video, and the whole world knew about it.
Let's get back.
However, no, let me finish.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm gonna
fucking
get back
finish.
to that, but yeah, like I want to lead.
However, the Black Israelites, the way they treated them, grown men treating kids in that way, and there's not a peep anywhere.
So I want to add.
Yes.
I don't know if many people know this, but they were actually saying like, not like Catholics, but they're saying like your preachers are
incest
like fags,
babies. Yeah, they're
like,
calling them fags.
They're
and shit,
fags,
yeah.
and like holy shit, like that's not cool at all. So how
where's the gay community when it comes to going against some black guys?
And yeah,
nothing.
Well, what's crazy is like not many people know of that though. I have whatever. So.
Like, how are the Black Israelites not on all the news? Why do no one know about the Black Israelites after what they've just released into the world?
Now
it's the Westboro Baptist Church, but they're black.
So here's and so also with the black Israelites, I feel like they for the actual story they were instigating.
Yeah.
Against
16, 15, 17-year-olds.
And so here's the biggest thing is they're fucking like 16, 17-year-olds. Like, of course they're going to say stupid, dumb shit. And I'm not saying like it's okay. I'm just saying like when you get a whole bunch of teenagers trying to top each other and try to be funny with each other, you can see it in the videos. They're just being dumb. They're not.
They're having a good time.
They're having a good time. And facing
yeah.
reality, like people, whatever. And then while
an extremist group.
So while Black Israelites is an extremist group,
absolutely
trying to confront and saying not hurtful things, but hurtful things, but like saying something to this group of like fucking kids who are waiting.
They're demonizing the black kid with them too. Like,
yeah. But anyways, so we have these guys mixed with these kids. And then all of a sudden, then you watch a video of them instigating, and then you have this. Then you have Nathan Phillips coming in to these people.
And the very first
what a
way
shit show!
What a shit
show! Like what?
What I want to say is all these kids did was wear a hat, and I was watching Comedy Central. I was watching Comedy Central. And what's his name? Who's the black guy on the Daily Show now? Do you know who I'm talking about? No, not John Oliver.
Damn it!
I can't think of his name. Okay, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'll
the Daily Show. Yep. So the Daily Show. He pointed out the Black Israelites, which was great. Of course, this was an in-between clip. This was not aired online because they won't allow that shit.
Oh, really?
They won't allow that
so
shit.
So online or on TV, they never brought it up.
Yeah, there's a little online clip where he brings it up, and he says, yeah, these Black Israelites dudes are crazy, but when you wear that hat, you should know what you're getting into. Fuck that. Fuck that.
So okay, here's and this is a wonderful.
They act like it's like you're carrying like a fucking. I don't even know what the MAGA hat. Do we have a modern day it's not like a scarlet letter. I can't think of
No,
a proper
I think
comparison.
that is a great representation or
comparison.
To having a scarlet letter is if, like, for me, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not going to wear the MAGA hat, right? And that's just me.
Yeah.
But also, though, I'm not going to demonize someone who wears the hat. And I feel like when someone wears a hat like that, it is cause to be hateful and to be against someone who wearing the hat. And it's so fucked up.
To justify shitty behavior.
Correct.
And in the end, true ignorance.
Correct.
Towards another person. It just shows how far away each other we are, and how terrible we see each other.
Trevor Noah.
Fucking Noah.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah.
So here's the thing is before, because we're already kind of getting past, but ultimately these kids are just fucking kids. Not that I'm like saying it's okay for what they were saying, whatever, right?
What were they saying though?
And what?
What were they saying?
What do you mean what they're saying?
What were they saying?
They were actually chanting their own, like, school, whatever.
Why do we have to say I don't support them then if all they were doing was being fucking rowdy? They weren't saying anything bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, well, here's the thing is
they were wearing MAGA hats. And that's it.
Well, so here's I think what especially a lot of America still are very much Trump supporters. And of course, and I think a lot of the supporters are pro-life, which that's what they were doing. Was they were
at the March for Life.
They were at the March for Life,
which I have a video to show.
So
you.
Perfect, yes. And so they were there for that, and people are very much for pro-life, and that's their decision, and that's what they want to do, and that's.
Well, I think that means it's not their decision, right?
What?
They're pro-life.
Well, no,
it's not pro-choice.
I mean, I'm pro-life.
Okay.
I get you. So yes, that is where they're at. That's what they want to do. I feel like
that's why we're there. The thing is this was their event, and they were being protested. They were being protested by adults.
So
the Indian group, Native American, whatever. Group, they were there to protest.
So the Indigenous Peoples March.
Yeah. They were there to protest.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting in some little kids' faces.
So what happened?
Grown-ass men, grown-ass people getting in
a
little
small
kids' faces.
group went into a larger group. And now here's where I get super upset. Now, are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
I watched Nathan Phillips actually on Democracy Now. They had an interview. Okay,
Democracy Now. If you want to get the left side, that's a great way to
get
it.
Yes, and so they're interviewing him, and he brought up when he was in the middle of that. Even though he walked into it, he said, "I felt that the way these people looked." These kids were like they wanted to lynch. Like they're like he described the way.
Shut up.
He described the way.
I'm gonna look this up.
No, and it's there. It says in the interview. He said that the imagery that he got when he was there reminded him of back in the 50s when the white kids or white people were at that diner, and when they were putting all that stuff on the African Americans. He said he felt and he saw in their faces of old lynching and for me, I'm like, whoa,
that's such a construct. I don't blame him for thinking that.
Correct.
There is so much money in this world, in this political system we are in.
So as soon as I heard that, I'm like,
to have that
holy political snortness from Dwight.
Yeah. No. There have been millions and potentially billions of dollars spent to drive that narrative. We have been told this for at least the last 3 years, if not the last since Obama's second term election there. there has been, in the end, we are not living a social environment. We are living a political environment at all times, not just during election cycles, at all times.
How would you describe? Could you break that down? Are you able to break that down as far as what that means, as far as in layman, quote unquote, layman's terms?
So in my world, the government is too powerful. The government means too much, and we have to argue about it every day, even though we don't have a say in it, except once every 2 years. One day every 2 years, we have a say in our government. Every other day, we do not. When we create a system that's truly out of our control, it causes us to react in a way that is not equal to the actual outcomes. Does that make sense? I might have fucked it up a little bit.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I might have fucked that up a little bit. Yeah. It's just too much for us to handle, and it's not natural to our society. It's a construct that we have made to actually put power to a smaller amount of people.
Yeah.
The true power that should be with daily interactions. It should be based on economy, and it should be based on charity. And it should be based on one another interacting with each other, because there's true humanity in that point, not in government. And
I feel like that's like a totally
fuck yeah,
like a different
libertarian as fuck.
No. I'm saying like that opens I want to say like Pandora's box, or like another a door to something else. So yeah. Figuring out who we are. I love it along the way. Oh,
I got a fucking ad.
Okay.
I'm gonna find this. I want to hear him say this.
No, I totally get you.
All right, yeah, and I think so. I do have two videos here.
Okay.
Both of them taking place after the context has surfaced. We have one interview with Mr. Nathan Phillips there, which I kind of think shows the mentality of what's really been pervaded through our news media in the United States. However, I would love to preface his interview with a...
I guess I'll preface too. Like, so he is giving a... he's doing an interview.
Yes.
And I've noticed and I've heard and I've seen different interviews with him. He's not all over the board, but he
long-winded. He's an old guy.
Well, no, but like it's very like there's I want to say like he talked about how this Sandman is has been coached, whatever. I feel like he's continuing with the same narrative, and it's like So
let me open it up with how the how some news media are still portraying the situation.
Correct.
And how the narrative is still being driven. So this is actually the Young Turks. It's low-hanging fruit to show my point, but this has been shown time and time again in many other instances here. So here's the Young.
Over the weekend, a viral video featured a group of white male students wearing Trump MAGA hats in a confrontation with a Native American elder. His name is Nathan Phillips, and he's from the Omaha tribe. And the way the video was presented made it appear as though this group of students was antagonizing him, mocking him, taunting him.
The way we had decided to show this video showed this certain narrative. But one thing I would love to say is those kids were named nameless. They were based down into what they were wearing and their race. Nathan Phillips, the person who got in these kids' face, was a Native American elder. He gravitas to their point that they were trying to make. And let's see here. And I have this next one as well. This is Nathan Phillips kind of talking about how he perceived the situation here.
I was absolutely afraid. There was a group of over 200 young, angry white men who were displaying mob mentality. And they were facing down just 4 black individuals. And it was coming to a point where just a snap of the finger could have caused them kids to descend on those 4 individuals. I didn't agree with the black Israelites and what they...
Okay.
So wait. While he was saying that,
group-
while he was saying that, like these kids were dancing.
Kids were dancing.
They're just fucking dumb idiots.
Fucking
being
laughing.
kids, being 16 years
Being
old, 17 years
idiots.
old, being dumb, waiting for fucking in school.
But no.
They weren't these white men that were like.
Damn near lynching was what he was describing there. No, the
you
kids
should've
were.
got that.
That's a long interview.
Yeah, that's
it just shows how we continue to push this shit narrative that is not based in reality. And when we have conversations and arguments that are not based in reality, we will have them forever.
I want to add real quick. Just we didn't hear it, but in the same interview, he said that he saw in these kids' faces, he saw the same picture of when in the 50s of when they were in the same diner.
Countertop protests.
Countertop
protests.
So he said that, I saw in these kids' faces the same mob mentality, and he said talking about lynching. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that is so extreme to forward your narrative. And I'm like, God damn it.
This is my big thing is in those historical situations, ignorance was on the hate side. It was on the side that he's describing. To modern times, ignorance is truly being shown as the people perceiving these things because they're blatantly ignoring the actual situation. The black Israelites were not these 4 black individuals. They're racist.
They were literally there, and they were saying hateful, rude, sexist, homophobic things to all these people.
Absolutely.
And then you seen Phillips walk into the crowd. He didn't have to do that.
And
oh my God,
worried for the people yelling the insults.
So here's
starting the incident.
So here's the thing is, like, and so this is my whole point is I want people, and I feel like this is super long now. My point.
Don't fucking believe shit,
man. No.
Go listen to Alex Jones.
Shut up. God damn it. Yeah, I don't agree with that, but yes. All right.
Fuck.
My whole thing is that people ran away with this narrative without knowing the fucking truth. Now
they ran away,
and so hold on.
Hard as a rock.
Now everyone listen. People who continue to like advance this fucking narrative of this guy was approached. No. Phillips went into this crowd. He didn't have to.
You do not talk about a Native American elder like that, Chris.
I know. Apparently,
okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So my biggest thing is that this guy Phillips went into this crowd to these kids. This guy went into this crowd with these kids. Don't fucking do that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go. Like, I don't know. I think it was a shit show, and people need to realize that it was a shit fucking show. Hold on. The first thing is that
you gotta let me cut it more. You have to let me cut it more.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, these kids were there for the pro-life, right? March.
They were bussed in. They're Catholics. Of course
they're
pro-life.
They're waiting. Pro-life Catholics. That's what they want to believe in. That's their thing. Yeah. And then wearing the MAGA hats. That's their thing. That's their prerogative. Whatever. Then they're getting hit with the black Israelites,
kids,
which are full-grown adults.
Grown-ass men
pushing their views and saying, "Hey, you're wrong. You're almost called like you know faggots, whatever, all that shit." Right? Then you have these Native Americans saying, "Oh, we were trying to keep the peace," but they literally went into the lion's
about
den.
The terrible white people attacking the 4
and then they felt
black
threatened.
Individuals.
I'm sorry, you don't ever go into a mob mentality like a huge group of people like that. They're incendiary. Is incendiary? Is that what it is? Like they're and so. Here's the whole thing.
They exacerbated the situation.
I want...
and they made it much more interesting, though, I would say, because we probably wouldn't be talking about it.
Correct.
They would have just been some kids that got harassed by the black Israelites and gave them some school cheers back.
I will
end a fucking blip.
And I will end it with this as far as just for me, is that I'm glad this happened because it shows how fucked up news can be, but also how people and the media are using this. Like, even people are using this this racist narrative to forward their political progress.
Yes.
And it's prerogative. Thank you. Yeah. And it's scary, but more and more people are doing it, and a lot of people like. So, and I'll let you.
What you should take away from this story is not that Nathan Phillips is a Native elder, that Nathan Phillips is an asshole, that Nathan Phillips is a good person who was worried about for Black individuals. It's nothing about the Black Israelites. It's nothing about MAGA hats. It's that the news is not bulletproof. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt. You should digest before you repeat anything. We probably made that. I think we probably learned something from last week, although we did kind of allude to a lack of context in the initial story.
Let's hear everything.
I think the worst thing we said last week was "kid had a punchable face,"
which you did.
We could probably stand by it in that context.
Most definitely.
I do feel like he was maybe just wanting to not back down in front of his friends. He didn't want to seem like a pussy in front of all his boys.
My biggest thing, though, is that Nathan Phillips is continuing on this narrative.
And he's being allowed to.
Yes. And it's not accurate. It's not bullshit. Factual. It's fucking bullshit.
Every time you see this, man, every time you hear someone talk about it, if they don't call Nathan Phillips an asshole in those exact words, it's fucking bullshit.
So, and here's what worries me the most.
CNN.
No, wait. What worries me the most is
Nathan Phillips is an asshole.
People are going to say, no. He was the right. These kids are racist assholes. And I'm not saying these kids weren't racist assholes.
Everybody's racist.
Well, yeah, but my point is,
okay,
he went to this crowd. Plain and simple. It's not like
he put himself in the situation.
He put himself in the situation like an idiot.
Yes.
And he wasn't just the factor. It was multiple factors, and this was a shit show. And people need to realize this was a fucking shit show.
Apparently, he has a history. I can't go into it.
Yeah. No,
I don't know enough about him.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Frankly, I know too much about him.
Yeah.
Frankly, we know too much about this fucking dude.
So that's the thing. Is that's it.
Don't believe the news.
Don't believe
the news.
That's where I struggle with the most.
Listen to a lot of shit. Listen to a lot of shit, and then form your own opinions. And if something seems too clean cut, if something fits a narrative too well, give it a few days.
I think give it a few days. I think people live. And they want to. I mean, they will use anything to forward this narrative, and it's. Well, I feel like it's very wrong for America.
Well, the thing is people, they want to be right, and they want people to believe what they believe. Mm-hmm. They want to convince people. They don't want to reflect the world properly. They want to reflect their ideas of the world.
Yeah, push that forward. So yeah.
All right, well, we fucking talked about that for a very long time.
Holy shit, that was a long ass.
That was actually going to be the shorter story.
That was going to, holy shit. I felt like that was pretty decent, though. Yeah.
I thought we were just going to reflect on last week and talk about the bullshit that's happened since.
There's so much, though, to digest and like.
It just gets me annoyed. I just get annoyed,
It's, It's a lot. It's fucking
bullshit.
It's fucking bullshit.
It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. People run away with it.
They fucking do.
All right.
Jesus Christ. The fact that he hasn't been fucking ostracized in this society. Why has them and the Black Israelite? Like, what the fuck?
No, I know.
Where the Covington school got death threats. The school the kids came from.
They've already issued they've already issued apologies, all this stupid shit. Yeah.
The school issued an apology, and they did an investigation. And what about for these grown ass men? And what the fuck?
So what's so crazy is when people hear this, I hope they realize I'm not siding with fucking anyone.
No.
No. Literally. I side with the people who are.
I feel like the kids became victims.
Yes,
I think the kids became victims, and that's really the moral of the story.
But and also, I don't feel like their view is 100% my view, but
it doesn't even matter because they were put in a situation that they did not have the No one had the right to put them in that situation.
So
They're still
I'm
kids.
going to interrupt this podcast because I feel like it's the most adorable thing is Dwight is sleeping right next to fucking
spooning me.
He is spooning, and it's adorable. How
Your dog likes me better than you. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good, man.
I apologize. All right.
All right, and he's looking at me too. Good boy.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez,
this is
yeah.
what I deal with.
All right.
All right.
So which
what,
leads.
what else were we going to talk about?
So we're
kinda
already
forgot.
almost an hour into it, so it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
No, we're not. Right?
Oh yeah. So we got 10 more minutes.
Yeah, we'll do about 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
That works.
We're good. Which this leads me to kind of maybe my story.
Okay. Yep.
But I wanted to talk about like the whole R.Kelly situation. And
yeah, that's
it's
right.
more.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
and it's even more of that. It's more about.
Is this news? Is this new? Is he like on trial or something?
So there was a documentary that came out.
Documentary.
It's on Lifetime.
Okay.
It's a series.
Was that before or after MASH? Was a joke. 'Cause
God
they
damn it.
play
MASH,
MASH
like
on
from-
Lifetime, don't they?
I love it. MASH. Which I watched that with my parents. Yeah.
I grew up with one channel, man. 11 o'clock every
Yeah,
night.
is that okay?
2 episodes
yeah,
of
that's
MASH.
so funny. Yeah.
Right after The Simpsons.
So was it after The Simpsons?
After The Simpsons.
Oh,
Simpsons,
that was
A
late.
whole hour at 10.
Okay.
And then you had MASH at 11. I
okay,
think.
yeah,
Oh, no,
that's-
it was Frasier. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay, there we go.
We had one channel. Okay.
We had one channel.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So and this gets into a lot though, man. I don't know if this is gonna be,
I mean, how graphic are you going to get?
no, not too graphic. No.
What was, well, okay.
So
We'll wait. We'll unwrap that gift.
We'll unwrap that gift
at
when
the
it gets to
appropriate
it,
time. So R. Kelly is apparently a.
So R. Kelly is kind of the new face of what's happening with kind of American culture and as far as American.
is he a part of American culture anymore?
Are you serious?
feel
Oh
like
my
he
god,
was
yeah. No, yeah.
Early 2000s,
No.
late 90s.
So now
if I'm
here's
wrong.
the thing though, is like even with the artists, even like he's now the whole this whole Me Too movement, everything, right? It's
What
all,
songs has he done?
dude, he's done so many
Apple
fucking
Bottom
songs.
Jeans?
No,
I don't
what?
fucking
oh
know.
my god.
Dude, I don't know R. Kelly.
Okay, no, it's
This
okay.
is-
It's okay. So
Well, what songs have he done?
there is a documentary.
I want to place him in time. What songs has he done?
He's done songs all the way from what early 2000s, 1990s,
Okay, what
all
are
the
they?
way. I don't fucking know.
Fucking come on. All right, I'm gonna look up. Some songs.
There's so many. I can't think of any fucking songs.
can't think
off-
of any R.
No,
Kelly
no.
songs?
I
What?
can sing them,
Let's sing them.
but I can't fucking.
Let's hear
I'm
pipes.
not gonna sing it. Anyways, all right. So
R. Kelly.
there's a Lifetime.
know.
Usually I don't do this, but go ahead on break them off with a little preview.
I think we can play like 10 seconds.
Trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you the way you.
Okay, I do like that song.
God damn it.
actually. That's a good song. That's all I know.
Okay.
Running her hands,
my
running her
fro.
childlike hands through my fro.
So the biggest thing is that with R. Kelly, he is I would say the new face of a line of artists that have had sexual misconduct, sexual assault, all
What
that.
did he
right?
do? What did he do?
So
I honestly, I do not know. I've heard a little bit about his past. That was about it.
so he has had child pornography cases that he's got thrown out.
okay.
He
Yeah, the
married.
Jared from Subway.
So
issue,
he
actually.
married Aaliyah. Do you know who Aaliyah is?
That was an illegal marriage to an underage girl.
She was
correct?
15 years old.
15, okay.
Guess how old he was?
He was 32.
27.
27? We all knew that guy in high
20,
school.
27.
We all knew that girl and guy
27
in high
and
school.
15. No. So
There was always that one.
And
All right.
so
The early bloomer.
But they're-
okay.
God
With
damn.
the late bloomer. All right. Fuck.
God damn it. Come on. So, he's just one of so many. Okay? He's so many, and so
Well, who we had? So R. Kelly. Just sexual. I mean, is it above the national average? You know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
like sexual misconduct stuff. Is that Hollywood? Is it above the national average? I don't know.
I have no
Or is
clue
it
what
just put on just put on display so much farther? as Chris walks around to fuck with his fucking dog.
I literally took a pen that I dropped. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna chew on it. All right, okay.
We're talking about sexual assault here, Chris.
Stop. Like, okay. The reason why I bring this up is because there are artists and that have been in cases of sexual assault. Like, even just think about, for instance, Bill Cosby. Like,
Bill Cosby.
They have like these incredible works of art. Okay, like long-standing, many years of being like this like influential person in society, in even like genres of whatever music, whatever. Like they are very influential.
They become untouchable.
Yes,
they do.
So now here's the thing: is like when these people all of a sudden like now are in the spotlight of, you know, like do we renounce all of what they've done?
Are you talking about separating the artist from the art?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it argued both ways. My personal opinion is you are taking the creation of an evil mind.
What?
You are celebrating the creation of an evil mind.
Yeah.
If you continue to listen to the art, you are celebrating beauty in an evil mind.
Yep.
And in my mind, that doesn't work well.
So here's man, this is
because in the end you are celebrating that artist.
This is gonna turn into a longer podcast than I originally wanted to.
We gotta edit this shit.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So, we have this person who has been highly influential in the R&B game, right?
Yeah.
Now we're like knowing, oh shit, this person is like super super fucked up, right? There are so many people that have denied and supported this man.
What about Michael Jackson?
What?
Michael Jackson.
Correct.
Very similar, I suppose.
Very similar.
Celebrated until his death.
Yes. So now do we celebrate his art?
His art was celebrated.
For just his art?
He was also celebrated.
Now there are...
It's morality.
No. So back in the, and I'm gonna butcher this, but back like within like Plato, Socrates, all of that, like within the Renaissance, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were people back then that were these poets. Poets weren't just poets. They're also songwriters, actors, dancers, whatever, right?
Sure.
So like everything, and like there are a few. I know names. I just can't right now. But they were like insane. They were not good people. They were all like even murderers, right? So, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, and it was established where these people were...
Our artistic creativity does come from troubled minds.
So, yes. So then it's almost like, how do I say this? So like now I'm remembering reading an article about... Back then, they would like condemn these artists, these
as being
pervasive, like pervasive,
terrible,
yeah, exactly. Like no, we shouldn't, But then now art has said no. There's no boundaries. It's just art. It's whatever, and so
okay. I've written a book. I've actually written a book. Okay, yes. And the thing is. Doing so, to truly recreate human experience at a level that can be appreciated and profound to another person, you have to get your mind into a different state of things.
Yep.
I would literally, I would put in headphones and I'd listen to the same song over and over and over again. It puts you into like a meditation state.
But would you have a young girl or would you kill a young boy?
No, but
no.
Those mindsets
are
so different
young
from our
men.
own.
Would you draw young men in very sexual pervasive?
I don't know who you're referring to, but no. Well, the thing is the reason why those names are so profound and why such terrible people can be so influential is because they view the world differently, because they just see the world differently.
Yeah.
R.Kelly, and I know very little about this individual. I wouldn't have known him had I not played that song.
Yeah.
NPR did happen to speak in regards to him during the week.
Yeah.
And apparently I don't know the exact history. Apparently, he was sexually assaulted when he was very young, and from what I've gathered, it was an individual that was trusted within the family.
Of course, yeah, that's usually how it always works.
I think the majority of there we go. The majority of sexual assaults happen with a individual that's it's not the random guy at the grocery store. Not the guy.
Either way, though, it's still
a family member or a family friend.
Either way, even though he I've watched.
It's terrible.
I've watched some of this. So what happened is he has this documentary on Lifetime, or not? He has, but they have a documentary. All of these women actually telling these stories of how controlling, how manipulative, how crazy this dude is. Right? It's been a fucking pattern. It's been crazy, and so what they talk about as far as like this article that I read too, as far as how these artists when you listen, that's forwarding this when even within the R&B music, right? Super sexually explicit, super sexually
nowadays it is.
Well, no, even back when, oh my gosh, no, in the 90s, in the 80s, come on.
I was thinking more like the doo-wop.
No, well,
it came from.
Well, even back when they talked about rock and roll back in the 50s, 40s, they thought it was very pervasive. No. But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
Even
for that time.
Yes, and they're like, no, that's yeah. So the whole thing is these people put out this music, right? These people who are not quote unquote right in the head or who are not maybe good people are putting out this music, and we're listening to it.
We as a society are indulging in.
We're indulging in these troubled minds, and how does that not affect us? And so
we are products of our environment.
Correct.
You're very correct in saying that. Yeah.
But then now herein lies the question: is we have always accepted art as art, right? Like no matter maybe how perverse, whatever, right? Yeah. But then now, do we go back to the art is
are you saying, should we be worried about the troubledness of that mind coming through the music into our own?
Correct.
Is that really
because
what we're getting at?
If you listen to R.Kelly, how much of music he has put out,
sure,
how pervasive, how influential he has, yes. How is he not
don't know him,
forwarding all of this music, because he's a fucking fucked up individual and he's putting out this music, and and we're all it's all influencing us.
Well, what about Eminem?
Yeah,
Eminem. What's he done? Did he maybe does he have any history?
More I don't know as far as sexual misconduct, but I know that as far as dysfunction, yes, most definitely.
He was dysfunctional,
yep.
But I don't think he ever went to jail. I don't think he ever went to prison.
I think so. Yeah,
maybe.
Whatever.
Maybe I'm wrong. I just know Eminem saying about the most fucked up shit in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've watched interviews with him, and he seems very fucking.
He's not normal.
Well, he seems to be stable at the very least.
Well, no, he's had a lot of drug abuse. And
Has
all
he?
That. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Dude. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is
I think
that
art
brings up.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing that I guess I bring up after that is artists and their influence on culture.
Sure.
And I noticed though, and I have noticed, and I've noted that there are people who maybe want to look at the psychology and the influence of art. And is there maybe a drawing of the line or of a
what makes art profound though? Is it the ability of music or a picture to open us up to new ideas, or is it to fulfill or fill in these dark spots in our mind that we cannot totally recreate or
is it
picture? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I guess here's my question: is it okay if an artist opens a window to view something, anything?
It's anything.
And so it's almost like that, and I think that's what
I think they should have the ability to. I think they
Yeah.
should be okay to.
And
I think an individual, an artist, should be able to respond to that as
correct.
well.
Yeah.
And the thing is I think you shouldn't focus or allow yourself to be consumed by a single viewpoint, a single open window. You should expose yourself to many open windows.
Yeah.
Because that will help create balance
Correct.
Within yourself.
There are some people who are not balanced, and that
No.
but you can't.
Well, people get obsessed.
do you-
And
yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
They do.
I love you. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, my whole thing is that here's
Art from artists.
No,
And
we're
the
going off
deeper-
topic.
yeah.
My point.
I thought that was great.
No,
that was a good
no,
point.
that's-
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
enjoy that. Yeah.
So my biggest point is that we have R.Kelly now. This is a new thing, right?
I'm gonna get a beer, but pretend I
even-
didn't leave.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Yeah, even Chuck Berry. Do you know who Chuck Berry is?
Of course I know Chuck Berry.
So we're gonna hear him from far away. Chuck Berry is almost like the godfather of, I would say, like rock and roll, like jazz rock. Yeah.
Yep.
So do you realize that he went to prison for like I think it was like 20 months or something like that, like because of sexual misconduct.
He raped a woman or something?
He brought like a 14-year-old across state lines to, and he was.
What does state lines have to do with that?
No, I'm saying like he went over like
He brought a 14-year-old
Yeah.
across state lines.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
Hey, yeah. But no, like, so there are all of these.
Sure.
My biggest thing is even talking about Bill Cosby.
Chuck Berry did that?
Chuck Berry. So now, when you hear about like these awesome artists, these awesome musicians, even with like, I'll give you a perfect example, right? The Godfather of Soul. Do you know who this is?
Wait, Brown.
James Brown.
Yep.
He was a womanizer. Seriously, beat his woman.
Cocaine addict.
yes. Cocaine was a hell of a drug.
Fuck, dude.
Even
I
just,
watched
like,
an interview with him, and
so zooted, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, you go through so many years loving these artists and like their art, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like you're like, oh shit, they are not good people.
I think it turns
like,
into a lack of empathy
so
for
then,
the victims.
But now here's the point, though, is that if they're still alive and they're still getting money, that's the
Keep
best.
on your point here.
They're getting money. Now,
They are.
Now,
They are.
when people,
They're being supported.
Yes, correct. Yes. So
You
now
know.
people who are dead, they can't. So like James Brown, he's dead.
Sure.
Like, and you can still love his music.
Jared from Subway,
I love.
is he getting like a penny from the
not sure.
every
I don't know.
$5 footlong?
Right, yeah, he's getting
received
five.
in
He's
the
getting
world.
5 foot long something.
He's
you know?
getting a lot of
He's
footlongs
getting
now in
5 foot-
jail, I'm sure.
No, I assume not. I bet he's, but anyways, no, I think that's the biggest point is these people who are artists, who are putting out art and who are getting money for their art and in today, and then all of a sudden being exposed as a very negative person in society, but then they're still getting money, and it's like
In the end, we've had the discussion, we haven't had the action. Basically, is what you're saying.
the what?
The discussion's been had, the action will never be taken.
Well, no, people are like
no, I'm
R.
saying,
Kelly's
like-
been dropped from his label, which is
People are
awesome.
still going to listen to him.
What?
People are going to still listen to him.
And
And
so-
should we have an active?
So that's the question that I guess I
Boycott.
bring up
Yes.
is like, do we all like say nope, we are done?
Well, how about this?
like that hard line? Like when do you decide this is the hard line where we are not like boom, we're done? Like
Well,
are we going to? And
yeah, well, the best way I can do is this. I had a band I grew up listening to called Lost Prophets. Okay, emo right here, bam. So Lost Prophets.
any of you Lost Prophets
Fuck
fans
yeah,
out there?
Lost Prophets. Yeah, no, Lost Prophets. They were a huge band in the early 2000s.
Huge, they're so huge.
Honestly, they really were. And it turns out lead singer liked little girls. 13.
Oh, I remember you were
12,
saying this.
13.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, and I had just listened to. I was listening to their last album. Great album, I thought. And I love listening to it.
Yeah.
Ever since I found that out, I have not listened to Lost Prophets. I have not. Okay. And I don't know if he's in jail or not, but they would get money for that. And you'll have to look at
get
this.
money for what?
Like Spotify will pay them out their royalties and things like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Because I listen through Spotify.
Yep. So
they
Spotify kept them as an artist.
Yes.
Yep.
Should Spotify drop R.Kelly?
That's the question.
I don't think they should drop R.Kelly, but I think there should be. I don't believe in deleting art. I don't believe in burning albums. But I do believe that you should be able to take an artist's life into account and understand that you do not want to expose yourself to that ideology.
So when does so do you feel like, and I think that's a great point, is yes, when do you as an organization, I mean, like Sony already has dropped him.
I don't blame a record company from dropping someone. You don't have to invest in that lifestyle. I don't believe in deleting history, though. I don't believe in deleting the individual.
And like, if people want to support, fine. But if they don't, it'll show.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I agree with that.
And we would we could look on our culture, if there was such a reaction where he was made irrelevant, damn near immediately, we could look on that and feel really good.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Sound good?
Yeah. All right.
So I have my fucking points here, or my news story.
What?
We're gonna take fucking 2 minutes, okay? 2 fucking minutes.
Okay.
We'll get into this more next week, okay?
All right.
There wasn't much humor this week. This is really news.
No, because it's a lot of shit to unpack. Like, it was a lot.
We
I'm
need
sorry.
Smoke, like some pot or something.
Let's smoke some pot. Let's do it.
I've heard great things about meth.
Yeah, we were. Let's have a 4-hour-long podcast.
What was the little joke we had about R.Kelly? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
It was the triple T, the talented.
Oh, damn it! Some taint.
The talented troubled taint toucher.
It is. Oh.
Fuck. What was it? I can't remember what it was.
That's
there's
no revelation. Like, no, it's like, no. Yeah.
This is why we only use our first names.
He was
Chris.
Okay. People are gonna know.
So. Yeah. But all right, we can wrap up this podcast.
We will wrap up this podcast.
I wanted to reach out and about that. We will be keeping an eye on that, as well as the government shutdown, which we never talked about
Government
either.
shutdown.
Oh, fuck.
Shut that shit down for 3 weeks.
Fuck 3 weeks.
3 weeks after that.
Does it matter if the government shut down, Chris?
Does it?
Did you notice it at all? Had you not listened to the news?
No, and what's so funny is
no,
I actually talked to someone and they're still working and they work for the government. So there's only a few. I feel like it is pushing this narrative of, oh my God, this is so crazy. Even though I have I have a few friends who work for the fucking government and they're working.
There's 800,000
and
people.
they're getting money.
There was 800,000 people that work for the government and they weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
They weren't working at all. 800,000 people, if they're not working and we don't notice it, why the fuck are they working on our money?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Honestly, fuck them. Not fuck them. I feel bad for their current situation.
Yeah.
I just think we should transition away.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like that. The
reason I avoided talking about
I feel like that's very skewed information, and I feel like that's not factual.
What do you mean?
800,000 Americans are.
So there was 800,000 without getting a paycheck. So I don't know how many were furloughed, how many were working.
And how many furloughed. They're all getting paid, but they're not getting
paid now.
Exactly. Yes.
Which, interestingly enough, apparently they could have taken out loans against their paychecks.
And so, that's why I feel like it's so...
Because everything's backed by the government.
It's so...
It's political It's political
bullshit.
Political bullshit.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely.
To push this democratic narrative.
Well, those are 2 big fucking things that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot.
The thing is I guess, let us know. Yeah. Do you want us doing these deep dives where we only talk about 1 or 2 topics for way too fucking long? Or do you want us hitting these, do you want kind of like a little morning briefing? Let us fucking know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We will probably still do the same thing over and over again because that's just how me and Chris talk.
That's just how we do. I love though. Definitely. I feel like we hit some pretty good stuff though.
I don't remember what I said at all.
I don't even know. We'll listen to it. We'll be fine. We'll edit this shit and we'll be like, It'll just be
Are we
like
gonna post tonight?
We'll try
Yes.
to post it tonight.
We're gonna fucking post
We
tonight.
can try to post it tonight. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So, all right. Well, that concludes our week of that's your opinion, man.
Fucking opinion, man.
Fucking yeah. And we will see you next week.